All right, welcome back to Morning Joe. Joining us now from Manchester, New Hampshire, where we will be next Monday, Democratic presidential candidate, former Mayor Pete Buttigieg of South Bend, Indiana. Well, good morning. We're not sure. Do we congratulate you?
Good morning. Mayor Pete,
what do we say?
Mayor Pete, you're a winner.
What happened?
Everybody's
you're
a winner.
Winners.
But it does seem by the early results that you deserve more than just a participation trophy. Like, you were cutting across demographics of older voters, of younger voters, of moderately liberal voters. I mean, it seemed a very impressive turnout operation for your team and for you personally.
That's right. I think we were able to demonstrate both the winning message and the winning organization. And what was so important to us about making sure that we won across counties that had voted for Trump and counties that had voted Democratic in the past, doing well across suburban, rural, and urban areas, is that this is really the first proof point for how we're building the campaign that is ultimately going to go on and defeat Trump. I am more convinced than ever that the way to do that is building a coalition through addition, inviting people in, not shutting people out. And I think that approach served us very well last night with these extraordinary outcomes. Of course, I don't think there's a person in the country more impatient than I am to get that certified and have those numbers come out from the party. But we did go ahead and release the numbers that we had from our precinct organization. It was over 1,200 precincts, and those numbers are just phenomenal.
What is the campaign being told? What is your campaign being told about what exactly went wrong? What happened?
So I haven't heard much of an explanation about what the technical issues were. We have been told that there is a paper trail and a backup system, and that's obviously something that's very important, given that whatever the plan A was did not work out. We need to make sure that we see those numbers, and I'm glad that there's that verification process. But of course, frustrated and impatient like everybody, as I think the whole country is watching to see that prove out. And here we are in New Hampshire, where, of course, a week from today, we're going to have the next test, the next opportunity. And I'm convinced here, too, that our effort, our message, and our organizing approach is going to serve us well.
So, Mr. Mayor, it's Willie Geist. Good to see you this morning. Tell me about your decision last night to go out and claim victory. You went up on the stage and said we were victorious here tonight. What did you base that on?
Yeah. Well, we were looking at the internal numbers that we had and beginning to realize that something extraordinary had happened last night. I mean, here you have a campaign that was really questioned when we first got in for whether we even ought to be here, whether we belonged in this race. And to not only establish that, but to reach the position that we did was a clear victory for this campaign.
So not based, though, on anything you had heard from the state Democratic Party, for example?
No, we don't have anything from the party, at least I don't, that you wouldn't have heard as well. You know, we saw that early trickle, but then we're looking to, I mean, the thing about this, unlike a primary where there's a secret ballot, this is folks standing in a room for all to see with their neighbors right there, often with the press right there, and with our own observers there. So that made it possible for us to get a very clear sense of just how extraordinary of a night it is. And that's what I wanted to share with our supporters, who were just so charged up and so excited about this historic campaign.
Mr. Mayor, it's Jonathan Lemire. I know you're certainly pleased with the results, or your sense of how last night went, but there is certainly a sense of dismay among a lot of Democrats about the process, that we don't have conclusive results, that it has given rise to conspiracy theories and questioning the validity of the results that we are going to get. There's been some whispers from other campaigns already suggesting that perhaps Iowa should be tossed out and we should move to New Hampshire, and that's where this primary process should really begin. So let me just ask you that: should Americans, should Democrats feel confident? We know, hopefully, later today, when we get those results, should they believe them?
That's why that paper trail is so important. And again, the thing that makes it possible to verify the caucus process is the entire thing takes place out in the open with multiple ways to verify what happened. The frustration is the timing. The results will come in, and I will trust the results, but we wanted to see those results last night so that we could address our supporters with a firm official count in hand. Instead, we're waiting on the party to come through with those official numbers, and at the same time, we know for the road ahead that we are arriving here with the extraordinary momentum of having beaten every expectation in the state of Iowa having advanced to this point, and that's why I was able to say with confidence that when we were getting on that plane, we were victorious.
Hey, Mayor Pete, Sam Stein here. Just to pick up on Jonathan's point, why should any Democratic voter have any confidence whatsoever that the party can organize to defeat Donald Trump when they can't actually undertake an Iowa caucus without a massive, confusing result in the end? What confidence should any voter have after last night?
Well, I think one question is about how you put together a technical system to move out precinct numbers. Another question is the future of the American Republic. And on that question, I see a gathering majority of Americans who are united in wanting to make sure that we turn the page on this presidency. Part of why we were able to get to the point we did as a campaign last night is that we saw Democrats, dyed-in-the-wool Democrats. We saw independents who had walked away from the process in the past. We saw a lot of Republicans, disaffected Republicans who know they're not going to agree with me on everything, but who are just tired of trying to look their kids in the eye and explain this president to them. That is what this election is about. And while there's certainly frustration about the timing of reporting numbers coming out, at the end of the day, this is about the American people choosing our future and choosing it in a way that actually draws people in, which is what my campaign is about. And of course, as we pull into a critical week, we need a surge of support. And I have to ask anybody who is following this campaign, who believes in that approach to politics, to go over to PeteForAmerica.com, chip in and lend us a hand.
Okay, well, I know who's gone there, and that would be the daughters between us. We have 4 between us. Mayor Pete, you're number 1 from the Brzezinski Scarborough girls, and Joe's daughter Catherine's waiting for your campaign texts as we speak.
Yesterday somebody made a snide remark, and they said Joe and Mika think Mayor Pete's going to win Iowa just because they're daughters. Support Mayor Pete.
Well, I'm very happy to have done well in that primary too.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good start if we can just count the votes. All right, Mayor Pete, seriously, congratulations. It looks like from everything we've seen, you had a heck of a night last night. We appreciate you being on this morning.
See you in New Hampshire.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.